wisdom,
prudentia,
justice,
justitia,
temperance,
temperantia,
courage.
fortitudo.
Applying ancient philosophy to modern life, this is the Sunday Stoic.
Have you ever had a friend on the internet that is always putting pictures of themselves on vacation in Hawaii or showing off their beautiful family and their perfect kids and how big their house is and the delicious meal that they're cooking tonight and how it's better than whatever it is you're having to eat tonight? Seneca warns us about this kind of behavior. He says the best way to live a pretty good life, to keep enemies away, is to be moderate in your income and to be easygoing. So if you're hot-headed or you're flaunting your wealth, people are going to take it the wrong way. Remember, not everyone's a Stoic, right? People are going to see you as an enemy or someone who's a show-off, and they're not going to like you. It doesn't mean everyone needs to like us, of course, but if we want to be good people, maybe we should watch that behavior. Seneca is also going to warn us about the other thing that we need to watch out for, and that is when we do something we shouldn't do. And the examples we're about to hear, maybe it's something big, but maybe we do something we shouldn't do. We cheat a friend. We lie to a friend, or we do something like that, and maybe we think it's not a big deal, but then it starts to eat away at our conscience, and we know we could get caught. And then we have a hard time thinking about anything else because we know we have done wrong. So the best thing we can try to do as Stoics is to avoid doing wrong. A selection from number 105, The Moral Letters to Lucilius by Seneca, on facing the world with confidence. You will escape envy if you do not force yourself upon the public view, if you do not boast your possessions, if you understand how to enjoy things privately. Hatred comes either from running foul of others, and this can be avoided by never provoking anyone, or else it is uncalled for, and the common sense will keep you safe from it. Yet, it has been dangerous to many. Some people have been hated without having had an enemy. As to not being feared, a moderate fortune and an easy disposition will guarantee you that men should know you are the sort of person who can be offended without danger, and your recollection should be easy and sure. Moreover, it is as troublesome to be feared at home as abroad. It is as bad to be feared by slave as by gentleman. For everyone has strength enough to do you some harm. Besides, he who is feared fears also. No one has been able to arouse terror and live in peace of mind. The most important contribution to peace of mind is never to do wrong. Those who lack self-control lead disturbed and tumultuous lives. Their crimes are balanced by their fears, and they are never at ease, for they tremble after the deed, and they are embarrassed. Their consciences do not allow them to busy themselves with other matters, and continually compel them to give an answer. Whoever expects punishment receives it, but whoever deserves it expects it. Where there is an evil conscience, something may bring safety, but nothing can bring ease. For a man imagines even if he is not under arrest, he may soon be arrested. His sleep is troubled. When he speaks of another man's crime, he reflects upon his own, which seems to him not sufficiently blotted out, not sufficiently hidden from view. A wrongdoer sometimes has the luck to escape notice, but never the assurance thereof. Farewell. Now, sometimes you hear these letters, and it's like, well, how do I apply that to me? I am not a senator. I am not about to own a mansion, and I'm not about to make 1,000 enemies. But we can dial it down a bit and apply it to our own lives. And the first thing he says here is avoiding envy. How do we avoid having others being envy of our things? Remember, we know our things are on loan and they could be stolen at any time, but we don't need to invite issues, right? And we don't need to invite the hatred of our of our friends and neighbors. And one thing he says we can do is enjoy things privately. Boy, is that something we've become less and less good at over the years. We have to take a picture of every single second. I was listening to a lecture by Alan Watts on YouTube the other day, and he says, isn't it weird that we think that a good, beautiful event is ruined if we don't take a picture of it? And we almost prefer to see it in the newspaper or see it on Facebook the next day than to actually be in the moment and live the moment. We don't need to share all of our good times with the world. We might have something nice. Enjoy it. Maybe you want to share it with your family and share it with a few friends, but you don't need to broadcast it to the world. That can be a source of animosity from the world. But he also says, interestingly, we want to be careful about that, because having people who dislike you around the world, that's one thing, but also having people who dislike you around the corner is a problem, because anyone, whether they be the paper boy or a congressperson, they can all do you harm. And Seneca's referring here to, anyone can hit you in the head with a rock, basically. It doesn't matter who they are. Anyone can do you some kind of harm. And so trying to be a good, even-headed person who doesn't boast, who doesn't show off or flaunt what they have, who just lives a good, solid, steady life is what he's kind of recommending here. And then he goes on to talk about the peace of mind for those of us who do wrong. And we all do wrong. We know that at any point we could be caught for some of the things we've done, right? And this happens when you end up telling 3 different versions of a story because you're embarrassed about something, and then you forget which friend you told which story. Someone's going to figure that out, right? And they might figure it out. And then you're torn up about it. You're thinking about it. This is like, I don't know, accidentally scratching your dad's car and then pretending you didn't do it and hoping you don't get caught, and then you lose sleep for a month, right? We can get into these situations as adults. I've had situations like this where it's not always that you think you're doing wrong, but you're doing something and you get involved with a lot of people and you're doing something and you realize this isn't for me. I don't know how to get out of this situation without stepping on a lot of toes. It's not for me. I'm wrong. I have changed. My views are different now, or what I thought this was is something else. It's like quitting a job, but you don't hate your coworkers. You just need to get out, but you feel like you're going to tick off a lot of people when you leave, and you got to figure out how to tell them you're leaving, and you're worried if your story's consistent. Those sorts of things can weigh down people, from Silicon Valley to Walmart. So it's the advice here is to do your utmost not to do wrong, because anyone who has done wrong and has never got caught, has not yet been caught, knows that they still could be caught, and that will leave you with dis-ease. You could still be caught in your deception. So first of all, try not to deceive yourself, and that will help you to not deceive others. So the main lessons from this week's episode: don't flaunt it. You don't need to show off every second of your life to the world. And also, try your best to be honest and good. And when you make a mistake, own it rather than trying to bury it. If you bury it, it'll just make you more and more uncomfortable. And remember, the main goal of Stoicism is a good flow of life. You can't have a good flow of life in your little rowboat going down the river of life if you have a bunch of anchors tied to the bottom of your boat dragging the bottom. We need to be as transparent and as truly good as possible. And if you've made mistakes in the past, it's okay. Remember, you can start right now. Raise your hand and say, I, your name, will do better from now on, and move forward as a good Stoic. All right, everyone, have a good week. Email me, sundaystoic@gmail.com, and seize the day. Carpe diem.
Thank you for listening to The Sunday Stoic. If you enjoyed the show, please subscribe, rate, and review The Sunday Stoic on iTunes. Become a member of the Sunday Stoic team, earn rewards, and be an integral part of the show by becoming a patron at www.patreon.com/SundayStoic. Contact the show by emailing sundaystoic@gmail.com. To find out more, visit www.sundaystoicpodcast.com. And as Steve always says, carpe diem.